Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Mindset and Business Dojo Show. My name is John and I am your Mindset Business Coach. Today we are focusing on one of the key components of everything I do with my personal clients, which is what we call Ascension Movers. For the majority of business owners or anyone who is a high performer, you're going to have big long lists of things that you need to get done on a weekly basis. And for most people, they haven't actually really put much thought into it about what they need to be most intentional about. What are the tasks that drive the biggest results? And maybe what are the tasks that we need to do for more of a long-term game plan? So as we talk here about Ascension Movers, I want you to look at it from the perspective of the Pareto's Law. And anyone who's not familiar with the Pareto's Law, meaning 20% of what you do gets you about 80% of your results. So that is the frame we're viewing this session from, and that is what I want you to think about when I talk about Ascension Movers. So Ascension Movers are simply tasks that we have that are pretty consistent on a week-to-week basis that get us the highest yielding results. As a business owner, you're going to have a lot of distractions. You're going to have to put out fires throughout the week. So if you're not intentional about 3 to 5 things that are most important to you, that if other things come up, if other distractions come up, or other things that now become a priority, you have to measure them against your highest yielding tasks, your Ascension Movers, your 20% that gets you 80% results. So think about it from the perspective of what are the most important things that I do within the role that I have. And this should be stuff that probably your team can't do for you. Or if you're solo, you're going to be wearing a lot of these hats. But I want you to really just focus in on, well, if I could only choose 5 things in a week that I know is going to get me results at the end of the week, what would they be? And that's most likely going to be your 20%. So it could be networking. It could be maybe you're in B&I and it's that's where you get most of your leads. It could be following up with your current leads. Whatever that is for you, what is the best use of your time as a business owner that's going to help you get the best results? Now, think about it from your team's perspective. They should also have their highest yielding tasks, right? Like what are the things that they do that gets the best results? So ideally, the more people you have focusing on their specific roles, the easier this is going to be to implement. But I want you to start with you. And I want you to, as we come towards the middle of the week, think about next week and look at your week gone by and maybe your last couple of weeks gone by. And just ask yourself that question. What were the things that I consistently did that got me consistent results? And that is what we want to do more of, because the more of that we can do, the more results we get. Now, sometimes this can be short-term perspective, meaning the drive results now. And we also need to think about 1 or 2 things that are more long-term focused. And that could be maybe your networking event. That could be building certain relationships that are probably not going to pay off right now. It's going to be a lagging indicator for you. But 6 months, 12 months from now, that relationship that you've built or that thing that you've done, those relationships that you've nurtured will start to pay off. So you have to be able to bring urgency to the most important tasks, but also bring patience to the tasks that require a longer term frame, a longer term perspective, and a longer term strategy. So this will help you think differently about how you plan your week. Yes, you will have the other 10 things that are on your list that you probably need to get to. I once heard Brian Tracy describe it as, your A tasks are basically what is most important for you to do. Your B tasks that you categorize are what you should be doing. C is what you should be doing when you get A and B done, and anything that falls into D is essentially something that you should be delegating, deleting, or deferring. So it's a great way to, again, frame the similar type of conversation on what's most important, what should I be doing consistently, what do I do when both A and B are done, and then what should I be looking to navigate out to my team or delegate out to my team. So a shorter episode today, but something that's very important. And when you integrate this into your weekly plan, and I like to do this on a Sunday, plan out my Ascension Movers for the week, really give some time to think, okay, what do I need to be intentional about? And making sure that every single day, every morning, when I wake up, I know exactly what it is I need to be doing that day. When something comes up, I have to ask myself a question. Is it more important than this? Who else can do the thing that's just come up? And this is a practice that you stop yourself from being pulled into the fire all the time, and you spend more time thinking about what is most important and what can I do consistently. And what you'll often find is this list won't change that much for you. It will probably be a lot of the same stuff over and over, where you just need to build that consistency around doing these things at a high level. That is it for today. As always, be well and ascend higher.